Alright guys, 2012 Honda CRV. We're gonna do the rear brake pads. Alright, and I'm gonna show you in complete details. Alright, this customer did go get brakes somewhere, but they messed up. Alright, so I got him new brake pads and we're gonna change it. I'm gonna show you the brake pads I got for him. Alright, so I'm working with these Akiboners right here. Alright, you hear that noise? Inside it has a hardware kit. So let me put this down here. Let me see if I can open this. I'm gonna show you guys. See these little metal pieces? That's the hardware kit, all right? That goes in there. The person did not change it for him, so I'm gonna lubricate and clean and put the new hardware kit. It's making a terrible noise. All right, and let's get to it. All right guys, so first we're gonna remove the lug nuts. That's number 19. All right, yeah, I'm gonna be using this impact gun. Oh, I gotta go put my air is not on, my air compressor is not on. All right, I put my air compressor on, it's coming on, it's gonna charge up, but I should have enough power to get these out of there. There you go. All right, and let me disconnect my impact gun. I'm gonna take this tire and get it out of there. All right, guys, there we have it. Let me take my camera. Let me give you a little tour of what we're gonna do. All right. So pretty much, we're gonna need a number 12. I am gonna remove this bolt here and this. I'm gonna remove them both. I'm gonna take this caliper off, put it to the side. All right, I'm gonna change this hardware kit. You see that? All right, we're gonna replace all that. All right, and put the new pads on and grease up everything, and that should be good to go. All right guys, I'm set up right behind the caliper. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off this number 12 right here. All right, there you go. Sometimes this will spin with this, so you need to hold this, but in my case it did not spin. All right, and let me take this one off. All right, remove both of these bolts. There you go. Put them somewhere safe. Do not lose them. All right, this caliper, all right, sometimes it will be stuck if your brakes are old, if you replace old brakes. But since this was removed by another guy before, not too long ago, probably a week back, should be easy to come off. See that? This back brake right here, this brake pad here, right in here, guys, right in here, is compressed into that piston, all right? So let me pull it off. All you need to do is pull this off, right? You see that? There you go, right? And I'm gonna put this caliper, sit right there, don't let it hang. All right, there's our new brake pads. Look how terrible they look, all right? But, all right, this little guy goes into the piston, all right? So first thing I'm gonna do is make sure this is all clean, all right? Sometimes it has like corrosion inside, but let's take our compress tool here. I have a compress tool right here, or you could take a C-clamp. You could put a brake pad here, or if you have a tool like this, it sits perfectly on that caliper, all right? And we're gonna compress that piston right back, all right? Simple, very simple, all right? It's in, all right? All right, next what I'm gonna do is, look at all this dirt, all right? What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take this off. I wanna go get a flathead, all right? All right, guys, so got my flathead here. Let's get this little guy out of there, all right? And the one on the top, let it fall, it's all right. We'll pick it up before we drive off on it. I like to use a blade to clean the surface really well. It's gonna do two things when you're cleaning the surface. All right, let me get my light. All right, one, it's gonna give a clean surface for the hardware kit to sit, and it's gonna let it sit even. All right. Two, your brake pads are gonna go in smooth. All right. This is coming out really shiny. I never did something like this before, This is a new car, you know, it's a 2012 model, so it looks pretty good. Even to get that corner right there, right? The corner makes a big difference, guys. Right? I know you guys are having a hard time seeing this, but all I'm doing is I'm scraping this, right? Not just that, we're also gonna do the top, right? Because you cannot mess up on the top. Cannot miss the top. There you go. I like it. How it looks. Looks pretty good. Alright. Let me put my light back up. Alright. There you go. Alright. I'm gonna get my hardware kit right here inside this bag. Alright. It comes with 4 pieces, 2 for each side. And then it has the one that goes on the caliper itself. Right? Very easily, guys. You can take this hardware kit and put it right there, guys. Right in there. It goes in really easy. You do need to push this end with the screwdriver, right? Next, same thing on the top one. Right, this is the guy that I pushed in right here because you don't want it to touch the rotor, right? You can always turn the rotor before you put the brakes on and make sure nothing is touching. There you go. This one came on pretty easy and good. There you go. Perfect. Let's spin the rotor. Not touching anything, all right, guys? Next, I am gonna clean up. Let's remove this off first out of this caliper. All you need to do to remove this is you push this to one side. Right? Where's my flathead? You push this to one side and the other side will come out, alright? There you go. Alright. I want to clean the surface on the caliper itself. Alright, looks pretty good, alright? Next, I'm gonna take this little guy. Alright, we're gonna take this little guy and put this in, alright? The way it's gonna go in is you're gonna push one side and then you're gonna push the other side in, alright? Should be fairly easy and simple to get that in. You might not be able to see it much, but you can do it. Alright, almost in, a little bit more. Let me push this side in. There you go, alright? And then you push it back on top of this. This is gonna work like a spring, alright? It's gonna work like a spring. Let's leave that right there. Alright. Next, I'm gonna prep my brakes, alright? And I'm gonna lubricate a couple of spots. I'm gonna show you guys where I'm gonna lubricate, alright? Let me grab my brake pads. Again, these are the brake pads I'm using. Akibonos. Part number is ACT 1086A, alright? And there's the brake pads. Alright, let me gather this together and we'll continue together. Alright guys, before I put grease on this thing, alright, you see this brake pad right here with this sensor? Make sure you take a look. So when this sensor, this pad goes inside the caliper, it's gonna be on the down below, just like that, all right? Because if you put the other one, when it goes in, it's gonna be on the top, right? So that's one thing. All right, another thing I wanna tell you guys is, a lot of people, they like to squeeze this. They squeeze the crap out of this to get it in there. No, you should not have to squeeze the crap out of this, because this is better if you open it a little bit, because it's gonna grip on to that caliper right there, right? So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take a little bit of grease. I like to put it on the piston right there, right? Around that piston, because that's the contact it's gonna make. All right, also like to put a little bit on this hardware, little bit, make sure you don't get it on the rotor, right? Same thing on the outer side. On the outer, you can put it on the brake pad itself, all right? If you do get a little bit of grease on the rotor, wipe it off, clean it off. All right, guys, let me put this away, all right? And we are gonna check these pins, all right? I am gonna check those pins, all right? So if this caliper goes in like that, this brake pad needs to be in there like that. So simply, it's gonna give you a little bit of hard time to get this brake pad in there, because this retainers here are gonna push down on it. But you just gotta work the magic, guys. Work that magic. All right, try not to get grease. Like I got grease on my hand, so I gotta be careful. Let me go wipe it off and I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. Wiped off my gloves really well. All right, now is the difficult part. This is the difficult part. So we gotta try to get that brake pad in there with the force. You got my glove. There you go. It's not going anywhere. All right. And the outside brake pad, all you do is, since we already put the grease there, all right, so what I'm gonna do here is, I'm gonna take this brake pad and I am gonna slide it in there, right? A lot of times your brake pads will not go in there. You gotta hit it, all right? That's not a good idea, guys. If you need to hit it, you need to file, let me grab another brake pad. You need to file the edges here, sometime there, sometime there. Some calipers, they have a perfect slot to it. I mean, some brackets where the brakes go in. Then you need to file the edges, all right? So be careful with that. All right, guys, so next step is, let's take a look at the greasing on this. No good. Let me go wipe it and put another one in. All right, guys, I'm gonna clean this off. All right, there you go, nice and clean. All right, and I am grabbing some grease. All we're gonna do is put a little bit of grease on this. Doesn't have to be a lot. And these are the sliders, all right? They slide. Let me do the same thing. All right, with the bottom one, let me wipe it down. All right. And same thing, the slider, all right? White Castle, the sliders, guys. All right, all done, guys. All I need to do is take this little guy and I need to put this onto the bracket itself. All right, guys. So you take this. Whoops, whoop, whoop, whoop. I forgot one little step. I like to put a little bit of grease on this side also, because it's gonna, that's the contact that it's gonna make with the caliper, right? And you need to push these pins in so they can, the caliper can go in, all right? So when it doesn't go in, you see that? That's the reason. Same thing in the bottom. All right, we got that in, guys. This is perfectly done. All right, and I am gonna take my two number 12 bolts and I'm gonna tighten these, guys. Usually I torque these, but you won't see me doing that on the camera because I like to be clear out of the way, right? Torque is not too much on these. I'm gonna figure out and I'm gonna tighten these and make sure these are nice and tight. Make sure you torque them. If you're not torquing them, if you don't have a torque tool, get one. If not, try to torque it, tighten it to your best ability, all right? Because this is the whole life of it, all right, guys? There we have it, guys. Thank you, and subscribe, share, and like, and watch all of my videos. If you have any question about any car, send me a message. Bye-bye. Alright guys, I'm all done. I got the tires tight. I got the car down on the lift, on the floor. Make sure you pump your brake pedal a few times, right? So all I'm doing is pumping the brake pedal, because remember that piston, we opened it. Now it needs to retract back to its spot where it grabs the brake pads and it sits there waiting for you. So every time you press the brake pad, all it's gonna do is squeeze, squeeze, all right? Anyways, take this car for a test drive. There is a procedure how to brake in the brake. So you're gonna go drive like 35 mile per hour, 40 mile per hour, slow down the car. Don't let it completely stop. Do it for like 10-15 minutes, and there's procedures on the box. Anyways, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, share, and like all of my videos.